So Paul was in the middle of sharing the relevance, and that's when we got cut off. That's the way he rolls. Go ahead, Paul.
So the personal relevance of the ministry.
And as I understand it, maybe some of you could hear what I was saying, but you couldn't see me. So just to sum up real briefly, I just appreciate the fact that Liberty Quartet still goes to small rural churches, sings in these places that are kind of out in the middle of nowhere. Because I grew up in small churches and I grew up in farming communities, and so I appreciate that, and that's a blessing to me. Now, the funniest moment for me, or one of the funny moments for me as a quartet member, was mostly my own doing. We left early one morning. We were headed to Northern California, Ripon, California. It's a place where we've been several years in a row now, and we left, and when we got down the road, the gauge on our bus said about 1/8 of a tank. And we thought there was no way we could only have 1/8 of a tank, because Dan Gilbert said he had filled the thing up. And so I did some really slick mechanical work at the first place where we stopped, and I got that gauge reading full. And I felt pretty good about myself and what we'd done. It wasn't too much longer. We were driving down I-80 there, just past Winnemucca, and the thing ran out of fuel on us. And, that was pretty entertaining. Once we got the thing towed, we still got there. We were a little late, but we did our full concert there in Ripon, and that was a good time.
So I think we lost our live stream right after we did the video and the slides with the song. So Royce, why don't you kind of real briefly sum up what you talked about there? With welcoming folks and just the history. Okay. And what
I won't say all of it, but we're in Tumwater, Washington. Well, it's part of Olympia, Washington, and there is a group here called the Lighthouse Quartet that has always hosted this evening, and it's just a real highlight for us. And they're wonderful guys who just great character, and they love the Lord, and they do their very best for the Lord. And they're retiring tonight after 18 years, and so we're excited to be here, but a little sad.
Yeah.
And they said that they would have some reunions every time we came around, we hope. But anyway, so I was telling a little bit about our history and kind of keeping the faith going, and being men of faith and a character as well, and trying to live for the Lord in all aspects, and we want to give Him praise and glory. And we do that through music, and there are so many. I was reading to the guys earlier Psalms 66, where it says we're to sing praises to the Lord and to lift up His name, and that's what we've tried to do through these years. And I was saying that we had been in 40 of the 50 states,
Wow.
and then 6 of the guys that we've had out of 14, 6 of them have served in the service, and so we are patriotic as well. So the name Liberty has many different aspects to it, but our mission is just basically to lift up the Lord and to give Him praise.
Yes. Yeah.
We've started our 22nd year last week on October 15th.
All right. Hopefully you guys can all hear us really well. And just continue on with that vein. And Philip, why don't you share just kind of the personal relevance of Liberty that it has for you, and maybe a funny or memorable moment you have.
Well, what attracted me to Liberty is kind of what Paul said, and I don't know if they got what you said about the ministry-minded. Royce is very ministry-minded, and he's based Liberty upon that, and just sharing the gospel of Jesus. And that's what we're about. We love to see people get saved. We love to see people come out of depression or some kind of a healing, and we love it when they come and tell us about it, and that's what keeps us on the road. And there's nobody else that I would rather travel with. As far as a funny moment, Jeff Johnson, if you're on here, you'll remember this. When we were in California and we were singing Victory in Jesus, remember that? And it's a cappella, so there's nothing backing us up, and I'm out there and we're singing, and all of a sudden they have the doors open because they don't have air conditioning, and this black cat just walks in, and we see it back there, and it walks down the back and comes right up the front aisle while we're singing. And if that wasn't enough, somebody runs and grabs the cat and takes him down the hallway and he disappears. And so we're continuing singing, and all of a sudden, here comes a black streak of this cat. He came back in. I don't think we ended up not finishing that song.
No, yeah, well, you didn't.
I couldn't hold it anymore.
good time.
That was funny. That was wonderful.
Lake Almanor.
Lake Almanor, yes.
Almanor,
Lake Almanor, California. Yeah.
So,
That was funny.
I'm sorry, I'm trying to get my remote started back up here. But, well, I don't have as much experience as you guys do, or much time with the group to, I guess, draw from when it comes to memorable moments necessarily. But one of the things that really drew me to Liberty is the focus on always presenting the gospel at every concert that we go to. I really appreciated that from the very beginning. Every time we stand on the stage, usually Paul gives a presentation of the gospel to our audience, whoever they may be, so that if there's just one there that night or whatever time of day it is, that they know that Jesus loves them and that they too can have a relationship with him. And that has always stood out to me tremendously, and that's drawn me to them. And I think that that ought to be the goal of anybody who is in ministry.
Yep.
So probably one of the funny moments for me, like I said, was we were singing in, I think it was Nebraska, maybe it was Kansas, a few months ago, and Philip was right in the middle of singing "Joy in the House," and he went to make this demonstrative step down from the main platform to a lower level of the platform, and he completely missed the step and just about laid out.
That's not funny.
It was hilarious.
It wasn't
and so we just thought it was hilarious and continued
So you
to laugh
shared
about
the
it.
video to everybody.
Yes, we did. And it's on our Facebook page somewhere.
But I made a great recovery.
You did.
You got it.
But so we laughed about it, and
Didn't
the
miss a beat.
entire concert, I thought, I've got to make sure that I don't do something like that. And sure enough, the very last song that I was singing, I almost missed the step and about fell off the platform. So that was a funny moment.
We all changed keys together.
Yes, we did. So we're going to talk about some upcoming events, and Paul, I'm going to let you kick us off here.
Well, I guess our next big event that we have upcoming is on December 10th, right there in Meridian, Idaho at Valley Shepherd Church of the Nazarene. Last year we did a Christmas event there where we did it in their gym, and we only had limited space available.
Right.
So, and it sold out very quickly. So this year what we've done, we've opened it up, we're moving it into the sanctuary, and they seat about 900 people. We would love it if you could make the wonder of Christmas a new, what do I want to say? Tradition. Yeah, tradition for your family, a new Christmas tradition for your family. I'm so excited as we've been putting this together. We're going to sing most every song off of our Christmas CD you'll hear that night, especially if you're a part of the artist circle that comes early. You'll get to hear all those songs. And then our wives and our kids are going to be involved, as many as we can that are in the area and can be involved. They're going to be involved with that. And so we're looking forward to that. I've got at least one of our old members is going to come back and help us out as well with some accompanying. I'll let you figure out who that is.
Old member or former member?
Well, both.
All right.
Let's just put this out there. I mean, most of the members at this point are old.
Hey.
Rookie of the year over there.
And Philip just acts like he's young. So. All right, Royce, you're up.
All of the members that we've had previously and are still involved in music. They're actively involved in music.
Yes.
Some have their own music ministries going. And the one he was just talking about, I won't tell you, but he's the piano player at Nampa First Nazarene. A really large
What's
church
his initials?
Well, his name used to be Dorn, but hopefully it still is.
It
And
rhymes with Mitchie.
The last name, yes.
then the Cragen family, they're full-time on the road now. And Doug Wiley does some solo ministry. Jason Eaton has been doing solo ministry.
Yes.
Keith Wagner is a senior pastor. I mean, they're all involved in their churches too, which is a big thrill to me, and staying faithful to God's word. All of them
Amen.
have grown up in the church, and that's kind of what I look for when we get a new member, that they're used to the hymns, they're used to the new songs, and they're open to whatever the Lord would have us sing. So we're going to do an a cappella project. I mentioned a little bit about it before, and the title is looking like it's going to be Joy Unspeakable, and coming from 1 Peter 1:8, where now you don't know him, but we shall know him, and gives you exceeding joy, you know.
Amen.
And so much of what we do is wanting to spread the joy, and so it's going to be great hymns of the church, and also classics. If my people who are called by my name, Oh God, you are my Father, straight from the Psalm, and several songs like that. I'm really excited about it.
Yeah. And speaking of projects, Philip, you have a project that you and your brothers just recorded and released.
Yes, and honestly, it's not a Liberty project, but if it wasn't for me singing with Liberty and learning everything from Royce, this project wouldn't be as good as it is. So I mean, Liberty gets a lot of credit for it. But my father was a songwriter, and many of you have heard When I Pass Through the Gates, the song that we sing, and Royce sings on the Christmas CD, In a Manger Lay a King. Those are songs that my father wrote, and he wrote a lot of songs. And so my brothers and I, there's 5 of us, and we got together and we picked the 12 most favorite that we like singing, and that meant a lot to us. And we put those onto a CD, and it's called Keep the Faith. And it's been out now a couple of weeks, and appreciate those who have bought it and have supported us in that.
Yeah, and it's great. It really is. I'll testify to that. Just a few social media aspects I want to touch on real quick before we move on. Many of you, no doubt, have heard about Abundant Radio, but if you haven't, I want to tell you about it real quick. Abundant Radio is an internet radio station. It plays great Southern gospel music. If you have a smartphone or an iPad or something like that, you can download their app and listen to ad-free Southern gospel music, and it's tremendous. And Liberty is proud to be their featured artist on there, and just great programming. They've got a lot of great features that they're going to be introducing next year as well, and we would love for you to go and check them out. Go check out their Facebook page. It's abundantradio.com. You can listen to them on the internet as well. Hey, listen, a great way to keep up with Liberty as well, as far as where we're going to be at, is Bands in Town. You can download the Bands in Town app. If you see at the bottom, well, you did see on the bottom of the screen before we had technical difficulties, was the little banner for Bands in Town. If you go to Bands in Town and download the app and follow Liberty, every time we're within a certain radius of your area, it will send you a notification saying that we are coming to your area. And that way you don't have to miss our concerts. So that's a great way to keep up with us. Hey, and make sure you follow us on Twitter as well, Liberty Quartet. Follow us on Instagram. And that's a great way to keep up with us there.
And Derek, we're going to be doing more of these. What? This is a YouTube channel or
Facebook,
Facebook and YouTube. I don't know all that lingo, but I think I see my wife. Is that my wife?
No,
Hey, Tammy. Oh,
Jim, did we have any questions, Jim, that were submitted?
I see none.
All right.
Well, we answered them all.
Did we answer all the questions? We have no questions. Let's look real quick here. Royce, tell us something funny.
Oh, great.
on the spot.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, you just did that like that.
That was
We
funny.
have all this equipment. We have all this equipment here. If you could see it, I mean, there's all kinds of.
And we ended up reverting just to a cell phone.
Yeah, we
So,
went down to it. So
yes.
that's hilarious.
Yes, it was. So, hey, let's talk about our YouTube channel.
Oh, I was just talking about that. They made fun of me.
Yeah.
Now they're going to talk about it.
Well, listen, we do have a YouTube channel now. A
We
new
do.
YouTube channel.
Yep.
And lots of great videos on there. And
It'll be a while before we can compete with Psalm of Praise.
that's true.
But
It is.
but we're building up a
We
list.
are.
Hi,
Ellen,
Cousin
so-
Ellen.
So we have our new YouTube channel, and it's our great social media person, Nick Gibson, has pinned it to our Facebook wall. So you can go there. Make sure you go and subscribe to that and follow us on our YouTube channel. We'll be uploading new videos there on a more regular basis, and you can find out more information there. And we've got some old videos on there too. I was looking through there. Man, we've got stuff from the very first group. I know, man. We got guys in robes on there singing with Royce when they first started. And
Hey,
I wasn't
No
sure-
comment. No comment on the ropes.
I wasn't sure how many times we were going to have to go around that wall of Jericho.
so,
Our next video that we're going to add, I'm excited about, because just this Friday night, we were up in Mount Vernon, Washington. We sang at Bethany Covenant Church and sang with their choir. And I tell you what, they did a fantastic job.
They did, yes.
I'm excited to.
Yep.
Derek's working on putting it all together, but when it pops up on YouTube, you're going to want to go there and watch that. That's going to be a good one.
the only question was somebody wanted to know if they could drive the bus. And
No.
so, yeah. So,
Hey, I can't even drive a bus, and I've been in the group for.
hey, last thing. We got some.
You know what? I'm going to say yes to that.
Oh,
Okay.
If you can get here in the next 10 minutes, we're going to let you drive that bus.
Hey, some other dates that we've got coming up. Come see us in February at the Southwest Gospel Music Festival. It's a great time. February 18th and 19th down there, Grand Canyon University, in Visalia.
Phoenix, Arizona.
Yeah, in Visalia. May 3rd through the 5th next year. We have the Great Western Fan Festival.
Yes.
Great time, great Southern Gospel music, triumphant, and of course
The Hoppers.
The Hoppers, Collingsworth, Greater Vision. Lots of great groups out there. You need to come to that. We're going to Hawaii on a cruise next summer, June 9th through the 16th. You don't want to miss that. It's going to be a good time. Next weekend, where are we going to be at, Paul?
Oh, I was still singing the Hawaiian song there. Next weekend, we're going to be back out here in Oregon, Southern Oregon, actually around Royce's old stomping grounds.
Yeah, that's right.
We won't be singing in Grants Pass, but we'll be singing close by in Talent. I think we're in Merlin, Oregon, Myrtle Creek, and Roseburg, Oregon. So, we're going to make a little circle there, so you can come down there and see all 4 concerts probably.
Awesome.
Friday through Sunday.
Jim's wanting to say something.
So I have a couple questions.
Oh, all right.
Did you all come from a family that has a musical history? From
Paul?
Dwayne.
Well, I'll be honest, my family doesn't have a musical history, but I learned to sing, and I learned to sing parts sitting next to my mom Sunday mornings. She would sing alto, and she'd get out the hymnal, and she'd point to the notes while she was singing. So I learned to read and sing parts doing that.
It was hysterical, yeah. It's very.
Hysterical?
Historical.
No, it was hysterical.
Mom, I don't think he meant that, and I'll take care of him later. Thanks.
Same thing. Our family sang together. In fact, I was in a college group called New Creation that my brother traveled with me, and we got a big old bus, and it took all the offerings. Still doing it today.
Same here. I grew up singing in church with my sisters. My mom was a piano teacher, and just grew up loving music. So,
Good question.
another question?
Throughout your music career, who has been the biggest influence?
Probably my mom. So,
And I shared my mom and then my brother Mike. He taught me a lot about music, but I guess not much about doing cartwheels. So
yeah, that's true.
And my parents as well.
Cathedrals and George Jones.
And what are some of the things you like doing off the bus?
Royce?
We like to be active. Some of the guys like to throw frisbees and golf. And I've been hunting this week, and there's a funny story when John went hunting with me once, and he left me on the mountain. He took the car, headed to the church we were supposed to be singing at. I had memories of that this last week as I took Philip with me, and Philip likes hiking, but he likes hiking downhill.
And uphill stuff's not for me.
Yeah. And so he left me too, and
But I came back and picked him up.
3 hours later, after that. Beautiful. But yeah.
What's the most requested song?
well, I'm His is up there. That's one of them. And then the hymns, we get requests for hymns a lot.
Yeah.
Well, wedding music too, we get that request.
Is that it?
One more.
All right.
How do you handle mistakes during a performance?
Keep singing.
Keep on singing and keep on smiling.
Take two.
And laugh.
Laugh.
Learn to laugh. Learn to laugh at yourself.
Hey, as we continue on, pray for us and hold us up in prayer, and we would really appreciate that.
Amen.
Thanks for
God
tuning
bless
in.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.